Hi guys, Danica Ferrante here from mybeautyscraps.com. Today I wanted to share something a little bit different with you guys today. I have been making gift bag party favors for my son's birthday for his classmates at school. And this punch board just totally saved my life. If you subscribe to my channel, you know that I like to keep things super simple. I don't do a lot of 3D items, definitely outside of my comfort zone. And if I'm being totally honest, when I first purchased this gift bag punch board, I was a little overwhelmed. I know the directions are right on it, but like I said, 3D items just aren't my thing. But once I got to using it, it was just so easy. So I wanted to show you guys how easy it is. So I wanted to do a little tutorial today using this punch board. They are available in my online Stampin' Up store, and you can see them in your catalogs. If you don't have a catalog and you'd like to request a free copy, just contact me in the link down below. But we have in my online store the gift bag punch board that we're using today, the envelope punch board, and also the gift box punch board. So I thought it might be fun to make a video using each one and kind of push me outside of my comfort zone with those 3D items. So let's get started and I'll show you how easy this is to use. I swear, I think I'm going to start giving these as baby shower gifts because these will save your life if you have kids. I was able to make so many gift bag party favors in no time at all. This is like my new favorite thing. Okay, let's get started. So first, let's talk about what size paper you want to start with. So the gift bag punch board, has 3 sizes. So there's a small, a medium, and a large. And that means you're going to want to start with a 10-inch long piece of paper for small, an 11-inch long piece of paper for medium, and a 12-inch long piece of paper for large. So all of that means small, medium, and large is going to be the width of your bag. So the height of your bag is going to depend on the other measurement. So I chose to use the medium size. So you want to start with a paper that's 11 inches long for the medium size because a standard sheet of cardstock is 8.5 by 11. So I thought that would just be easiest to leave it at 11 inches and get it done quick and easy. Now you could leave your paper just as it is as 8.5 by 11. But that is going to make a taller box. So I wanted something a little shorter for my party favors. So I decided to take my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and bring in my Stampin' Trimmer. And I'm just going to cut it on the 8.5-inch side. I'm going to trim it down to 6 inches. So I'm going to have a piece of cardstock that's 6 inches by 11. Sorry for shaking the camera. So the gift bag punch board comes with a little scoring tool and a place to put it. So I love that. It never gets lost. Just gonna put it down where you guys can see. And you want to bring in your paper, push it all the way in, and line it up right where you see that little arrow. And give it a punch. And then since we're making the medium size bag, we're just going to score on the M line. And we're going to score right along the top. Every time we move it, we're going to score along the top. Then we're going to move it over so that score line lines right up there again. We're going to score along the top again. And then we're going to do the side lines because now we're scoring the lines for the side of our bag. So this one says side 2. That's the triangle side. And then you score along the little triangle. And you're going to give it another punch. Then you'll move it over so it lines up with that last score line again. We're going to score along the top and down the medium side. And then we're going to move it over one more time. Whoops, I forgot to punch that last one. That's okay. We'll just move it back to that score line. and give it a punch. I'm going to move to that score line, give it a punch, and then we're going to do the last side. So we're going to score along the top, the side line 2, along the triangle, and down the triangle side. And give it a punch. And then we're going to move it down to that last score line. Oops. And then that's our last punch. And there you can see we've got all of our tabs down on that edge. Now this last little skinny piece, that's the side that you're going to be putting adhesive on. So we don't need that little flap on the bottom. So we can just cut that off at an angle. It'll make the box easier to close up. Then you can get rid of all those little punch pieces too. All right, ready to see how fun this really is? So it punches on the other side too. So this is going to be what makes the holes in the top of your bag, so you can decorate it with ribbon. I think you can see from this angle, it's easier to see looking this way, but there's a little guideline there that says reverse punch on it. So you just want to put the opposite side of your paper in and line it up with that little tiny mark there and give it a punch. And then you're going to move it down to the next score line and line it up there and give it a punch. Now you're going to skip that score line because you can see it punches along both sides. So you're going to skip that middle of the side of the bag, that score line, and move on to the next one and give it a punch. Move to the next score line and punch. And then you're going to skip the one that's coming out from the triangle. There you can see. You're going to skip that one, but give the last one a punch. And there you can see on that skinny little tab, the one that we're using for our adhesive, you have a hole punched out there. So I also trim that off at an angle. And our bag is all ready for adhesive. So let me show you how I put this together. Okay, so see how on this side our score lines are indented? I'm gonna flip it over. So here you can see the score lines are raised. And then I'm just gonna fold that little flap in, the one that we're going to use for adhesive. And you can burnish it with this tool that comes with the punch board too. And I find the easiest way to line it up is not to fold on all the score lines first, but just on this one here, because that's how you're gonna line up your edge. And my favorite adhesive when I'm doing any kind of three-dimensional thing is the tear and tape. It's a really strong adhesive. It's really easy to use and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. So I just want to take a piece of that and you can tear it right off and push it down onto that flap and peel up the backing. And then we can fold it right over and line up the edges. And there you can see how the hole that's punched there even lines up perfectly. And just push that down. And now you can kind of manipulate your box to fold on those other score lines. And I told you I was making these for party favors for my son and I was in a hurry. So I just put adhesive on one flap. So I find where my front is because the back has that little seam there, which to be honest is hardly noticeable because this lines up perfectly, but I still decided to use the side without the seam on the front. And I folded in all of the flaps except for the front one. And then I took another little piece of tear and tape and put it right down on that inside flap. Because then we're just gonna tear it off and fold the sides in together. And then I kind of just held it in position and put it down on my table. And again, I took the tool that comes with the kit and I just kind of rubbed it on the inside to make sure that that adhesive all made contact. And that's it for the box in a flash, right? So cute. And you don't have to punch those holes in the top. You could use it just as a gift bag. But I want to show you how I decorated this too, because it turned out really cute. I used some of the party animal paper. So let me show you that. So the finished bag measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/8 if you're using the same starting measurements that I did. And I wanted to keep it really simple to decorate so I could make a bunch of these really quickly. So I did have some scraps around from the Party Animal paper pack. I love this paper pack. I was making some really fun birthday cards, actually designing some birthday cards for my upcoming card class. So I will have details about that soon. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that. But I had some little scraps left over from the cards I was creating, so I wanted to use them on the front of these boxes. You guys know I hate wasting anything. So all I did was use a little bit of snail adhesive on the front, and then I put it right in the middle. And then I wanted to have a spot to write to and from, but I didn't want to take the time to make little tags for each of these bags. So I grabbed my balloon punch and I punched out a bunch of the larger balloons. So because I didn't need the smaller balloon, I just lined it up underneath so you could see it was just the larger balloon that was being punched out, and I gave it a punch. And then when I was creating all of these bags, I was just able to go down the line and keep punching just the larger balloon without any waste from that smaller balloon. So that's a handy little tip. I love this punch. I use it all the time. That's also available in my online store. And don't worry if you're missing any of these items. I'm going to have a blog post that I will link to down below that's going to give you all of the details about all the items I used and measurements and everything, so you can head over there and check it out. I'll also have a little shopping list over there if you want to buy these products in my store and recreate them. Now during Sale-A-Bration, you'll get to choose a free item, so I'll have a little list over there to show you how all that works. So on the little balloon, I had a spot to write to, and then I wrote from Peter. And then I just grabbed a Stampin' Dimensional and put that on there off to the side. And then I used some of the taffeta ribbon that's also from the Party Animal Suite, so it matches perfectly. I love how everything from Stampin' Up coordinates. And let's see, I think I'm going to cut off 14 inches just to make sure I have enough. So to thread it through the holes, I just kind of pinch the bag so it's nice and flat. And then you can poke it through the back side and then do the same thing. Make sure it's not twisted. Do the same thing on the opposite side. If it is twisted, you can fuss with it and straighten it out. There we go. And then after you put your goodies inside, so actually let me show you what, I went to the dollar store, I went a little crazy. I found a package of like fun little Slinkies and put those inside. And then I got some birthday pencils and put one of those inside. And I ran out of bouncy balls, but I put a bouncy ball in there too. And then I just pinched it closed and pulled it tight. I'm going to get this pencil out of the way so it's a little easier. You can always stick that back in at the end. And then I tied a knot. And I didn't want to make it hard for the children to get in there, so I only tied a single knot. If it's older children, a double knot would probably just be easier to tie, because it's hard to tie a bow if it's a single knot. But I kind of held it there and tied a bow to secure it. And then you can fuss with it to make it pretty and the size you want. I do really like this ribbon. It's really easy to tie bows, and they lay nice and flat if you're using it on cards. And then I'll just snip off the ends. And there it is, really quick and easy. If you wanted to jazz it up even a little bit more, the Party Animal Suite has these really cute embellishments. They're little party hats and balloons. Here you can see them. So let's go for it and jazz it up, since now I'm not under the pressure of having to make 20 of these in a hurry. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the Whisper White Baker's Twine and thread that through the whole of the embellishment. And then I can tie that right around our ribbon. And I'm going to do that to the left side of the bow so that the bow kind of holds it in place. So you can position it about where you want, depending on how far you want it to dangle down. I want it to be a little bit lower than the bow. And then you can just tie off the baker's twine in a little knot. How cute is that? Can you see how this punch board totally saved my life? I was able to make a bunch of these really quickly for my son's friends. Let's stick that little pencil back in there so you can see how cute it is. They made really cute gift bags. My son was really excited to give them to his friends, and his friends loved them. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video today and seeing how easy the gift bag punch board is to use. Do not be intimidated by it. It's really awesome. And head on over to my blog so you can get some close-up pictures and a list of all the products used. If I've inspired you to create these today, you can go shopping in my online store and pick up the items that I used to create this. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I always love hearing from you guys, and I'm always happy to help answer your questions. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any other fun crafty things. I'm going to be sharing all of the class info for my Balloon Adventures card class in the mail this month. I'm very excited. This is actually a little peek of what those cards are going to look like. We're using a lot of these same items. All right, guys, until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye.